So we will be taking our example 2, rather example 3. We're taking example 3. So we have to convert from decimal to binary, and we are converting 255 to binary, 255 to binary, and we are going to use the division method. So I don't like that. Let's try to have something a little bit better. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so we're going to divide 255. We're dividing using 2. So we have here 255. Okay, and we are using 2 for our division because we are changing it to base 2. We keep dividing and taking note of the remainder. So if we go ahead to say 200 goes into 255, that will be too much, so we can break it down to 2 goes into 25. If it is still much, you can say 2 goes into this first 2 many times is 1 time, so we write that one under this 2. Next one, we now say this 2 goes into this 5. How many times? 2 will go into 5, that will be 2 times, and remainder 1. So we add the remainder here, and it becomes what? It becomes 15. Now 2 will go into this 15. This is 1, remember? Alright, 2 will now go into this 15. How many times? That will be 7 times, remainder 1. To be 7 times, remainder 1. So let's have our remainder 7 times, and then I don't like that. It is cool. Remainder 1. Okay, I think that's somehow better. So the next one we are going to have will be still 2 again. Alright, 2 again. Now say 2 comes into 12. This time around, let's pick 12. 12 how many times? Is 6 times. Now 2 comes into 7. How many times? Is 3 times. 3 times. Is any remainder? Yes, remainder 1. Remainder 1. So we are going to write it down as R and R1. Oh, that's too dark for us. That's too dark. Let's use this other color as R1. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, let's pick the next. Let's divide the next one. So using 2. This is 2. Alright, 2 comes into 6 here. How many times? That's 3 times. And then 2 comes into 2 here. How many times? The nearest is, that is 2 times. On rather, not 2, 1. 1. Okay, so 1 is any remainder? Yes, there will be a remainder because 2 times 1 is 2. So there will be a remainder, and that will be remainder 1. I want to use this other person, remainder 1. Good. Let's get to the next one. 2 divided by 3, how many times? 2 goes into 3, how many times? That is 1 time, remainder 1. Good. Add that 1 here, becomes 11. Now 2 will go into 11, how many times? 5 times. Is any remainder? Remainder 1, because we need to add up 1 to 10 so that we can have 11. So we now have remainder and 1. This remainder, right? Remainder 1. Good. Let's continue. 2, we still use our 2 because it's in binary, changing to binary. 2 divided by 15, that will give us 7, and then we're going to have our remainder. Our remainder will be remainder 1. So we have here remainder, and then 1 is here. Okay, so we are almost done, right? So it's now use 2 here. 2 comes into 7. How many times? 3 times. is any remainder, because 2 times 6, because 2 times 3 rather, 2 times 3 will give us 6. So there's a remainder, we're looking for 7, so that gives us remainder 1. Remainder 1. Let's use this other color for all our remainder. Alright, so we still keep on dividing until we are done. So 2 here, then 2 divided by 2 goes into 3. How many times? That will be 1 time. Is there any remainder? Because 2 times 1 will give us 2. So we're looking for 3. So there's a remainder already, remainder 1 here. Remainder 1. Okay, and we have it here, remainder 1. And finally, let's take the last one. 2 divided 2 goes into 1. Can it? No, it cannot. It cannot. So we have 0 here. But because we are looking for this one, that one is still left, and that will make us to have it as a remainder, and the remainder will be 1, and then we can reuse it. It's completed, remainder 1. Just as we did in the first example, we take note of the remainders, right? So that's the same thing we are going to do here. We are going to take notes of all the remainders from the bottom to the top. Alright, so I don't like that, it's not straight. From bottom we read it to the top. Okay, we can manage with that. So we can start writing it out. You have how many of 1? Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of 1. So let's write it out with 1, another 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a number. If you want to read this in words, that should be 11,101,101. But it's not in base. It's not in base 10. So this is base 2. If you want to read it out, you call it 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You're done. Whoa. So the base is base 2. Let's not fail to write it as base 2. We have it as T. Make it as a subscript, TWO2. And remember that we were changing from what? We were changing from 2 to 5. So you can say 2, okay, rather 255, 255 in base 10 is going to give us what we have here. So our base 10, let's see, write out base 10, TEN. So it's going to give us what we have here as 1 in 8 places. So if you've done that, you are very correct. That will be the end of our example. Then get ready for a classwork. See you in the next video. Bye for now.